Hello. Today what I wanted to do was a few things. I've had a few emails from people saying, oh, you don't do cooking videos anymore, do some videos, da 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 da. I thought, yeah, cool, alright, because I hadn't filmed anything for a while. So I wanted to kind of do that and do a recipe, I guess. There's something that it's easy to cook. And I wanted to try and show you how you can incorporate things from your garden as well as what you've got, like just being thrifty, so to speak. Now, I happen to have some puff pastry in the freezer. Now, I didn't make it, it was already the sheets, which is easy. And I found some onions, brown onions. I've got some herbs from the garden, and there's half a dozen eggs. And what was left with the cheese. So I'm going to do an onion tart. Now, this is really easy, so I'll step back and I'll just let my hands do the talking. So all I've got the oven on preset to about 180. Now, I've just lined this with pastry. Now it's pretty slapdash. You can see from all the lines I had to patch a few bits here and there, but it won't matter. I chucked it in the oven and I just put it as a blind bake just for about less than 10 minutes. Alright, so it's just kind of, I just want to get it going, especially on the base, so it's ready to rock. So otherwise, you know, there's nothing worse when you get something that, or pastry, and in the center, the pastry underneath the central part is still kind of not raw, but not really cooked. So, alright, so that's that, right? So, probably, you know, good sized pan. Don't ask me the dimensions. It's easy, right? Now, I got my brown onions. I had about 4 that were left over, so I just cooked them off in some butter, and I used anchovies. Now, this recipe is really good for people that are vegetarian, but I've got anchovies in mine, right? So I've just cooked them off with a little bit of butter in the pan, just till they were soft. Don't cook until they start to brown up. Now, all you need to do now, get your pastry, get this, your onions, and just spread it over the base, right? Now, all this stuff I literally just had in the fridge. And I thought, oh, well, you know, I might as well use it. And then I just sort of, you know, make this. So just nice and even on the base, right? Now, I happen to have a little bit of cheese left over. Someone brought it up. So you could probably use more than what I'm using, but I'm just trying to use what's in the fridge, you know what I mean? So I haven't gone out and bought stuff for this recipe, so just a little bit. Alright, so that was just about a handful. Cheddar. Tasty, I should say, not cheddar. Alright, so that's ready to rock, okay? So put that there, get out dish, and eggs. How many have I got? 3, 6, yeah, look. So all I'm going to do is just crack, oops, a bit of shell. Nothing worse than shell, especially if you get scrambled eggs somewhere and you get that bit of shell. It kind of wrecks it then, because you've got that like pressure in your head about whether or not there's going to be another bit of shell. Sorry, there's another little bit in there. I'm not going to rest until I get it out. There we go. I'm obviously not a good breaker of eggs. Try and use free range and organic eggs if you can. I know they're a little bit more expensive, but it's really a good turn, I think, if we can use them. So there's my half dozen eggs. Right. Now, whoops, get a fork. Give these a bit of a beat. We're not making egg and bacon pie or anything, so we don't want solid bits of yolk. So you want to get it nice and blended like you were making scrambled eggs. Alright. Now, this is where the garden comes in. I've got some flat leaf parsley, or Italian parsley, depending on where you come from. Yeah, I'm just coarsely cutting it up. Sorry, my sniffing too. It's spring here, and I get hay fever, which is really annoying sometimes. And I should have grabbed a bigger knife, but it doesn't matter. Alright, now you can use a lot of herbs. I'm going to use parsley and thyme. You can use sage, you can use oregano, lots of different things. I'm just going to kind of strip a few off the stalk. If a bit of the stalk goes in here and there, it's not the end of the world. Alright, that'll do for now, because I'll use a bit later on in another recipe I'm going to do later. Now, if I had thought about this before I actually just jumped in, I would have put the thyme in with the onions when I was cooking them through, but I didn't think about that. I wouldn't put the parsley in, it wilts too quick. Now, just season this, a few good shakes of black pepper. I've also put some salt and pepper into the actual onions when I cook them off as well. So not too much, because we've already got existing seasoning. Now I'll just grab a bit of milk. Just a splash. Like I said, it's basically like you're making scrambled eggs. Now you can add, I personally like this onion tart on its own with just onion and a bit of cheese, but it's really nice with olives, feta, sun-dried tomatoes, eggplant, all that stuff. Now, just kind of spread it, I hope you can see, I'm just spreading it out nice and evenly, alright? We want it to be fairly even. Now that'll rise up, of course, as it cooks. Right, and that's it. And let me get this out of the way. Now just bang that in the oven, and it'll probably take, at about 180, it'll probably take about 30-35 minutes, a bit less, a bit more, it depends on the ovens. All ovens are different regardless of what temperature you use. Now I'll put this in the oven. That was easy, wasn't it? I just used the remnants out of my fridge. So some puff pastry, cooked up some onions in some butter. You can just use olive oil. I didn't have any oil. Put those aside, and then I just beat up 6 eggs, put the onion in, put the eggs over the top, season it, a few herbs. Obviously I'm going to use herbs, try and make sure they're nice and even in there. I'm going to be eating it, so don't worry about the fingers. And that's it. How easy was that? Now, like I said, you can add all types of stuff to that too, so that's really quick and really easy. And I'll do another video when it comes out of the oven, and I'll show you, but just a real quick one just to follow up. Cool. Alright. Any questions, just give me a yell. Alright. Thanks for watching. See ya.